everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
Z Garcia, what's happening, folks?
Sam Healy, what's up, y'all?
Today we are talking about our top 10 favorite hidden role games. A game in which people don't know exactly who everyone is. Now this could probably also be retitled social deduction games, but it also could include traitor games. It does not include, what did you call them? Hidden scoring games? Like at the end of the game, I mentioned Lords of Waterdeep, where I'm so-and-so, so I get points for every house. But that's not really a role.
Yeah, that's more like a objective. That's like a hidden objective, not a hidden role.
Well, there's a fine line there between, okay, I have a secret way of scoring, but in the game, you know who I am. You see me make moves. That's one thing that I would discount. However, I would count games where you are a secret, say a color or a secret thing, and you can further any color's agenda. You are actively attempting to hide among the crowd. I think that is okay.
Yes, okay, I agree on that one.
All right.
Well, we'll find out. I don't think we'll have as much crossover as I initially did. I know we'll have some. But I don't think we'll have as much just because of some of the games I put on my list. I know at least 4 of my games aren't on either of your 2 lists.
Interesting. I'm happy to hear more because I think...
Unless you guys surprise me by doing the same thing.
I think there's ultimately not that many games that could go on this list. And there's one I'm afraid is going to get garbage, but we'll get to that. So I'm surprised I'm looking forward to hearing what 4 games you know are not on our lists.
Well, I had about 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I was struggling to make 10.
All right, well, we'll find out.
Was.
Let's see. Maybe I don't know. Let's find out. Here we go.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is the one game that I'm like, it's kind of hidden role, but it is, but within the course of a round, you know who everybody is by the end of the round.
I feel like we should be gearing up to
and
fire
then it
this one.
restarts where you don't know where anybody else is. It's Citadels. Again, give me grief about this one because this is the one where I was like,
this is role selection.
It is, but it's also hidden role because you don't know who everybody is.
Okay,
until they reveal themselves.
So you're the assassin, and you say, I'm going to kill the king.
You're
you don't know who the
guessing.
king is.
This means that I could put on the list Mission Red Planet.
No, because Mission Red Planet, you play them.
No, you don't. You call them out. It's
You
the
call
same
them
thing.
out
It's the
as-
same system.
And again,
And the same one. The other one that Faduti did, that you're traveling through the jungle,
I
whatever that one's called.
I thought about
Lost
putting
Temple,
Mission Red Planet.
Libertalia.
I didn't
Libertalia.
ultimately. It's just, again, I had trouble making 10.
That's
this
cool.
is the one.
Sam's top 9.
This is where I was like, okay, yeah, sure, kind of. But, between this and the last one we did was Deduction, which, come on.
This is what the people wanted.
All right. I won't pick on you anymore, Sam.
I'm
I feel
just
like
saying.
I'm picking on a goofy kid.
Just saying. It's just one of those things.
You
So,
did
my
your
number
best.
10
You tried, man.
is Citadels.
My number 10 is probably an obvious choice for this, and that would be The Resistance. We just played this one live a few weeks ago. The Resistance, half the players, or slightly less than half the players, are bad guys who are working for the government. Everyone else is the Resistance, and you're trying to figure out who the bad guys are. Mm-hmm. Very fun, entertaining game. I like both The Resistance and The Resistance Avalon. I know you guys like Resistance better than Avalon.
Very much so.
And you like it best with the special cards?
I do.
I can play with or without the special cards.
I usually play without the special cards. I don't not enjoy the special cards. It's just that I'm usually playing with the group that doesn't want to use them.
Yeah, you shouldn't play with them first time with people, for sure.
Sure.
And the way special cards could be dealt out, it could determine the winner almost, I think, sometimes. The right person gets the right card to look at the right person.
Well, they're better for larger groups. They even the game out again for a larger group.
Well, either way, I really enjoy the game. I was kind of surprised that it was my number 10, actually. That's The Resistance.
My number 10 is Quicksand, a game I've talked about before. An old, simple game in that style of you don't know who's who.
I forgot about this one.
But everyone is on the table. You know, all the characters are there on the table running through a jungle. Whoever makes it to the temple first wins the game, but you don't know which character belongs to whom. And you play cards to move any of them. If you suspect someone is the yellow player, then you can stick them in quicksand and slow them down. You can make them take a suboptimal path. Things like that. Very simple hand management game. Very quick. I've had a lot of success with it. Especially with kids as well. So my number 10, Quicksand.
I'm trying to think how many games are in that category.
There's not that many.
Yeah.
There's a few that were on my short list and didn't make it. But
There's actually several games that are in this category where someone's a color, and I would say some of these games, about 5 minutes in, everyone knows who everyone is. Even in Quicksand, that can happen.
it can. Yeah.
Number 9.
My number 9 is one that I'm not sure if it made your guys' lists, because I think you have games that you think are better than this one. But this is an older one from Z-Man Game back when when they were publishing quirky games, and that's Shadowhunters. Shadowhunters is a game in which there are two factions: the Shadow, vampire, werewolf, whatever, the hunters who are hunting these people down, and then there's some neutral people who have their own victory conditions. I think there's Bob, who just wants to die. They all have different... So as the game goes by, you are using a little bit of deduction to figure out who people are. You're also sometimes just shooting people for no reason. The game is the slightest bit more complicated than it needs to be. It's not that complex. But there's like, okay, if I take a white card, I do this. If I take this card, I do this. But it's very entertaining, and it's very unique. You've played this one, I think.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And I also recommend getting the expansion, because the expansion is just a small little extra. I think
That comes in it now.
it comes in it now.
Yeah.
Well, if you can find it. I don't think it's in print at this point. But Shadowhunters was a game that kind of replaced Bang for me a bit as time went by. But I'm sure we'll get to that later. So Shadowhunters.
All right. My number 9 is Shadowhunters.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Ah!
Everything Tom said.
Okay, maybe I have 3 games that are on the list. I really didn't think you'd pick Shadowhunters.
There's not that many games in this category.
There's more than you guys think here. All right, what do you got?
All right, my number 9 is a game that I think this is one of the ones that was on the deduction list that was just like, why are you laughing?
No, you're like, I'll get defensive about your games before you say them. I didn't give you garbage, it was him.
I didn't give you any garbage. I backed off.
Anyway, it's Spyfall by Cryptozoic. Each game you don't really know who everybody is. Now, it's true that there's only one person that is different from the others, but again, you don't know who the other person is, and you do have to deduce through a battery of questions that you are asking who is possibly whom, but you really don't know. And so there is definitely a hidden role selection, a hidden role element to that, because you are unsure pretty much until the very last few seconds of that 8 minutes, and even then sometimes it's like a crapshoot. So Spyfall from Cryptozoics, my number 9.
Actually considered Spyfall. I didn't put it on my list. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's because you're... I can't figure out why. Maybe...
I didn't want to put it on my list because I just had it on my deduction list.
Yeah, well, who cares about that? These people view these lists out of order.
But
I can't argue with the choice.
It is a fun game. It has hidden roles. So there it is.
Zia's taking a vow of silence against
That's
you.
fine.
All right.
Number 8.
My number 8 is one of the smallest games on my list, a little card game called Time Bomb, in which all the players are a bit like Spyfall. You are either nothing or you are the bomber, and no one knows who you are, and you are attempting to have someone pick a card in front of you that is the one card that will make this contraption that you are all sort of deactivating explode. The game is being reprinted by someone with a Cthulhu theme, which goes to show you
is that the...
very easily rethemed as well.
Don't Wake Cthulhu.
Or Don't Mess with Cthulhu
Yeah,
or
Don't Mess
something.
with Cthulhu, I think is what it is.
It's a very clever game. It's a very quick game. It could literally be over in 1 minute if the first card picked is the bomb one. that's the game. Or it can sometimes go for a bit, 15 minutes or so. It's very clever. Really, the gameplay is almost secondary to what you say and the way you communicate with people, and that's the kind of social deduction game I tend to like and prefer. So my number 8, Time Bomb. Great filler.
You weren't as keen on this as Z was.
No, I didn't like it that much because it just seemed maybe it was that one particular game that we played that kind of soured me on it, where it was just, I don't know, you and I kind of figured each other out really quick, and it was just this real quick back and forth, and it was like everybody else was just kind of sitting there while we played the game. And
That can happen.
I
That
just
can
didn't like
happen.
that.
I've played a lot after that. I played with my my family. Actually, I played with my parents that are not gamers at all, and they got into it and enjoyed it. So.
Okay.
That's you.
Number 8? Mm-hmm. Okay. 9, 8, and 7 are all kind of the same idea as far as how deep of a hidden role thing that there is. Very much with Spyfall, it's basically 2 teams, and you don't know exactly who's on what team. This one, Shadows over Camelot.
Oh, I fully expected this to be on your list.
Hidden role selection. I mean, a hidden role is there. You do not know who the traitor is. You don't even know if you play it the way that the rulebook says to play it. You don't even know if there is a traitor. But I usually play it to where
Guaranteed trade.
there is somebody is a traitor. That's the way I usually want to play it. It's one of my favorite games. It has been one of my favorite games forever. I feel like I talk about this constantly, but it is definitely deserves to be on this list. That's number 8, Shadows over Camelot.
My number 8, I believe, is out of print and has a different name in English than it did in German. The one company is
Don't even.
Physician. Heimlich and Co. Was it? Do you remember what the other name was? I wanted to say Top Secret Spies or something like that. I think I actually prefer. I forget which version I preferred. One of them has special abilities. But anyway, in Heimlich and Co., you're moving everybody around the board. And it's kind of like Quicksand, where you don't know who everybody is. But in this game, I thought Heimlich and Co. did one of the best jobs at keeping that hidden to the end. In Heimlich and Co., I was never absolutely sure who everyone was. And you get to guess, which is a fun concept. Okay, well, I think Z is this person, I think Sam is this person. And so I really enjoyed that combination. It's been a long time since I played this one, but if I had a chance, I think I would play it again. It's a simple game. It can handle, I think, 6 people, and does that pretty well. The first edition had no special abilities. After that, there was some special things you do, but you're essentially just moving people around in a circle, trying to have them end up in the right spots.
A lot of their special abilities didn't really help the game anyway, right? They were very much of an afterthought.
No, yeah, I think it was just like, let's do something to this game. All right, well, it's special abilities. So anyway, Heimlich and Co.
Number 7.
My number 7, like Sam has been talking about, just recently showed up in another list where it just made sense. No, actually, that was on the card games list, so it didn't matter.
Our top 10 lists are all bleeding into
But
each
it
other.
happens to fit very, very well on this list, and that is the game called Familien Bond. I talked about this being the one where you are secretly a genetic trait, like big ears, big noses, big lips, needing glasses, whatever. And you are furthering that, making sure that in this family tree you are building with very simple card play, that your genetic trait makes it to the very end, and so you secretly score. It's sort of like being a secret color, and you're furthering red, whatever. And at the end you go, haha, I'm red, and if red's the farthest in the scoring track, then you win. This is a Leo Colovini design, probably one of my favorite Leo Colovini designs because I tend not to like his stuff, but he's done a couple of games with this system, the other one being the board game Clans, which is more bland, because the theme is barely there, and a little more methodical. So that one's not on my list, but this one is, and I think it takes the same ideas and adds a little bit of humor, adds some simplicity to it, and it works well. So Familien Bond is my number 7.
My number 7 is also Familien Bond. Nah. What? You don't know that. Okay, my number 7 is, this was not on your guys' list, is Mutiny on the Little Blue. Mutiny on the Little Blue, there's a pirate ship that's moving around, and one person is the captain each round, and everyone else is something else. And I'll be like, Sam, take me to the island because I'm the first mate, and if you take the first mate, we'll both get red jewels. And he says, no, take me, I'm the second mate, we'll get this. And then Jill says, no, I'm really the first mate. So somebody's lying. And it's probably Z. I'm just saying. He's lying in his fictional
is
game.
It like Citadels, though, or?
No, because the captain has to pick someone to go to the island with them.
Okay. Do your roles change from round to round?
They do.
So it is kind of like Citadels.
Well, but guessing... The reason I would put this over Citadels is because the Citadels, you don't really care who anybody is.
And it's like, that's me. Right, sure.
I mean, it matters a little in Citadels because the assassin's trying to specifically kill somebody. Mm-hmm. But in this game, the captain is trying to pick somebody to go with him. And there's somebody who's a mutineer. And if he picks the mutineer becomes the captain next turn. Now, granted, the whole game is simply about, is he lying or not? There's really no kind of information to go on. But I got a kick out of it. I know that they were working on kind of a reworking of it. That has not happened, but I still like the original game, Mutiny on the Little Blue.
Okay. My number 7, again, it's the third one. In those two sides of one coin, and you probably already know what it is.
Toaster?
Yeah. Some people are toasters and other people are humans.
Toasters.
Yeah, toasters.
Some people are humans?
Yes.
That'd be a really boring show, actually.
Right? It's like this toaster just sitting on the counter. Anyway, Battlestar Galactica. Also hit and rolls, where the humans do not know who the synthetic humans are, and so that's where the hit and roll is. Now, about halfway through the game, you're going to possibly have more toasters hanging around than you did at the beginning of the game.
It's an appliance store.
And so that's where the game can get much more difficult for the humans than they did at the very beginning of the game. Usually about the first half of the game, everybody's playing nice. And then once those second roll cards get handed out, it's like...
That's when I get mean, because it's been like an hour and a half at that point. I'm like, let's go.
The mic drops at that point.
Kill me,
and people
toaster.
just start doing horrible things. So definitely belongs on this list as far as I'm concerned. My number 7, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, I think this one is... this one almost made my list. I think this one is higher than other games maybe of this genre because I like the fact that the hit and rolls really mean something.
Yeah.
Because some of the silents are actively trying to do stuff and you can mess with things.
Number 6.
My number 6 is the same as Sam's 7, 8, 9 or whatever.
Wow.
Well, in a sense.
All three of them?
No, but it's the same thing, The Traitor. But this is the game I know is not on either one of your lists because neither one of you likes this game that much, and that's Police Precinct. Police Precinct, if you play with the dirty cop, is a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. I think I enjoy it. Now, I don't know that we could even do a top 10 traitor games list. I don't know if there is enough of them out there.
No, I don't think
But
so.
this is one of my favorites in that genre.
We'll get them here.
Maybe we'll make it one of the small top 10s at some point. Top 10 games with the traitor. And then our top 10 games with the traitor. And then our top 10 games with the traitor. That's not even funny. All right. Police Precinct.
Everybody's laughing.
Really fun with the traitor. Go.
All right.
I've shamed myself.
Is it me? My number 6 is a game that's going to show up.
No, it's Sam's.
It's Sam. Okay, go.
I really don't care.
Go ahead.
All right, my number 6 is a game that I was just recently introduced to. I got a free copy of BGG Con because they were just giving it away, which is kind of strange because this is a really good game. I enjoy it a lot. As far as the hidden roll part of it, I think it's better than the two of the previous games that I've just listed, Shadows and Battlestar Galactica.
Wow, I don't even know.
Homeland, the board game.
Oh, this was in my top 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this has a stronger, I think, feel of hidden roll because you have, generally speaking, I think it's 3 or 4 different roles that can be played
3.
throughout the different course of the game. You have the FBI agents or the CIA agents. You have the political agent that's kind of trying to play both sides of the fence almost. And then you have the definite person who is definitely the terrorist. And of course, they're trying to accomplish their nefarious deeds. So, stop. Anyway, it's dirty. So, I really do enjoy this game. I like how each of the different roles not only are hidden during the course of the game, but they also score differently at the end of the game as well. So, I really enjoyed this game a lot. My number 6, Homeland, the board game.
My number 6 is a game that's going to show up a little bit later in Sam's list. This is Bang the Dice Game. This is probably going to be very near the top of Sam's list, as it tends to be. Bang the Dice Game is just like Bang, but with dice. It's faster, it's better, it's cleaner. It is much more engaging, I think. And yeah, it's awesome. It's a very good game. It is... It also obscures a little bit because of the way the dice are hard to sort of manipulate. It obscures a little bit who is who in a much more effective way, I find, so that someone is trying to kill you and they are shooting you. You can't quite be sure that they are shooting you because they are attempting to kill you or because the dice kind of landed that way, and so there's a little bit of that. It's a little bit like Shadow Hunters in that way, where I'm shooting you because, well, I got to shoot somebody, but am I supposed to be? You know. Mm-hmm. So I like that a lot. Very quick game, Bang the Dice Game, my number 6.
Here's the thing. I told you I had about 20. I did not put Bang the Dice Game in that at all, because even though I like the game a lot, the hit and roll thing feels to me secondary. It almost feels like you said, you're just shooting people to shoot people. And then you see what happens, but I've never been like, oh, you were the deputy all along. I've never had that kind of gotcha moment that I'll have in Battlestar Galactica or something.
I've definitely had many times where those moments have happened in
To be fair, you've played it 700,000 times.
Yeah, but it
I think you use that to hide among the crowd. You don't just shoot. Like, I would never shoot my sheriff if I'm trying to help them.
unless I did not have any other recourse.
Right.
But I mean, you always have
I'm sorry, sir.
another choice.
Right.
You always have, because I mean, even if you're sitting right next to him and you roll the 1, you can always choose the guy next to you.
Unless it's equidistant, but
yeah,
whatever.
right.
Like, it's rare.
He said no, he doesn't have the game on his list. I think he's lying. We'll find
Is
out.
that what you said?
I did.
He shook his head no.
He's lying, yeah.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5 is a game that, again, I was just recently introduced to, and Z actually has it. I don't think he's reviewed it yet.
I did.
You did review it?
How do you know?
Salem.
Yes, it is Salem from Facade Games. It is actually a brand new game that I don't believe has been picked up by a major publisher yet. This was self-published, I think, but it definitely deserves to be picked up by a larger publisher, I think. One of the things that I really enjoyed about it is that the person who is the witch can actually infect the other people that are in the game and make them come over to their side to where they don't even have a choice. So who the witch or witches are during the course of the game changes. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about this particular one. And so I think it's a lot more important that you figure out who the witch is as quickly as possible. And of course that in and of itself is a difficult task as well. So I really enjoyed this game a lot. Comes in a really brilliant package where it looks like a book. It literally looks like a book that would be on someone's shelf. And it's very compact. It's a small game. So there's a lot going for it, and not a lot of bad happening in it either. So that's Salem from Facade Games.
I'm gonna have to try this one. My problem is I'm just getting almost weary of these constant new social deduction games. It seems like every other Kickstarter.
It's very much a, well, my number 5 is The Resistance, which Tom already mentioned. It's very much The Resistance slow, or Werewolf slow.
Right.
where you are doing a mission, if you would,
Yeah.
but over the play of a deck of cards. You have to run that deck out,
Yeah.
and then there's a knight, and then you run the entire deck out, and there's another knight.
Right.
So it's a little. It was definitely on my short list, and I do enjoy the game a lot. But it's for a different setting almost. It's it's not like the Resistance, which is okay. Sit down, and in 20 minutes we're gonna have ourselves a shouting match and a bunch of finger pointing and all of this stuff.
We are very
In
calm when we play
Salem-
Resistance.
in
And none of us ever
Salem,
throws a fit.
There's a lot more of like,
Yeah, there's a lot more thinking going on, I guess.
Yeah, but again, it's about the same amounts of information. Really, you don't really necessarily get a lot of information dealt out.
No.
It's just more.
There's more card play in this one.
There's
though.
more card play. It's a
And-
more
and that's-
sedate sort of
right.
play.
It's what gentlemen would
feel.
play.
Correct.
I'm actually surprised Resistance is your number 5 because I had this peg for your number 1.
Again, it's one of those things that I've played it a lot also, and it's sort of fallen from grace a little bit, but definitely wanted to put it in my.
No
list.
specific things that knocked it down for you, I hope.
What's that?
There's no specific instances of playing the game that knocked
no,
it
not
down.
at all. Or people, or specific people either, But I probably won't play again for a while, or with specific folks for a while. Anyway, my number 5, The Resistance, a great game, but ultimately avoid Jason.
My number 5 is probably higher on Sam's list. We keep saying these things.
Wow.
Sam's
I
list
just
is
keep
going to
getting
go
thrown
through.
under the bus.
This is not throwing
every
under the
single
bus.
time.
This means we have high. Okay, anyway.
We know and appreciate you.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Dead of Winter. And the reason I put Dead of
It's not
Winter,
higher on my list.
it's not.
No, it isn't.
See, the reason I put Dead of Winter over Battlestar Galactica and Shadows over Camelot is because the way people act in this game, there's not just a hidden traitor role, there's the hidden I'm the food hoarder role, there's the hidden I'm the loner role, and so there's a lot of different things, and you're trying to figure out, why is he acting like that? Is he the traitor? No, he's just a jerk.
Just bored.
Just bored. But you have these motivations behind you, and I'm really excited to see the new motivations that they have in the new Dead of Winter, because I think that will kind of spice it up. Because now, if I see anyone not turning food, I'm thinking right away, food hoarder. Because I'm getting to know the different ones that are in the game.
Right.
So having more, I think, would be a good thing.
I guess I just didn't view it as I was going to replace Citadels with it.
Oh, you were?
I was going to replace
I would have believed you. You didn't have to show
Crossed
me.
it out again.
Unbelievable.
So
That's it.
I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you nothing.
He put Citadels higher.
How is both Bang the Dice Game and Dead of Winter both not on your list? Does your list end like at 4?
Yes.
Trust you.
Good.
Wow, because I know my top games are... Oh, no, one of them is on your list.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is a game from Overworld Games, and it's
The thunder shall ring you in.
called Good Cop, Bad Cop. This is a very interesting game for me. I enjoy the, I wouldn't call it camaraderie. I enjoy the play between different people, and the fact,
Jason, one of them.
much like Salem, you can kind of infect other people. There is the chance that you can switch roles about, during the course of the game with Good Cop, Bad Cop. You could very well be a good person. And then through course of different cards being played and different things, you are now a bad guy. And you can switch roles like that very easily in this game. And that's one of the things that makes it, it's why it's higher up on my list, is not only that it's hidden role, but your role can change, and sometimes you can't do anything about it. And so now you have to play for that other team now.
A comic book character.
Yeah, kind of.
Suddenly
So
bad.
that's why it's on my list. Good Cop, Bad Cop from Overworld Games. My number 4.
I am not surprised. All right.
That will be on Tom's list.
My number 4 is definitely not in either one of your lists because I don't think you've played it, and you weren't so hot on it when we did play it.
Judge me.
This game is all about roles because there's like 80 of them in this game, and that's 2 Rooms and a Boom. 2 Rooms and a Boom has a lot of different roles.
Not on my list.
Okay, you didn't hate it that much.
That's the boom.
Here's the thing about 2 Rooms and a Boom, though. That's really terrible. The thing about 2 Rooms and a Boom is that it's very possible that it will not work with certain crowds of people. The game really depends on the
Forces you to, like, be in
players.
two separate rooms.
Right.
Where there's like each group is standing on purpose so that you do not fall asleep.
I think it would be
That's
absolutely.
not
It
okay.
would be absolutely funny if like one group just like trolled the other group and like went and got dinner or something, and then came back and they were still playing.
I would.
No, because you actually switch people from room to room. The idea is interesting. There's a president in one team, and there's a bomber in another team. And the one team wants to have the bomber and the president in the same room, very politically correct theme, and the other team wants them in different rooms. So you have to figure out who's on what team, and you're trying to get all your team in one room and get rid of the other people. Or if you're the bomber team, you want the bomber in with everybody else.
You like just walk around and talk to people about.
You do,
Yes.
and you can show them your
There's
color.
no game. It's sort of like let's hang out and make people speak.
It's like speed
It's like
dating.
awkward party, the board game.
Okay, now, despite what Z says, I've seen this game go over like gangbusters. And when even in the game you played, you may be the only person there who was not enjoying the game.
I don't think so.
I think so. Because when it was done, everyone insisted we play again immediately.
Because we're all like, we're not sure we did anything.
Whatever.
And we tried
But there's all
again.
sorts. You can play with neutral roles. You can play with spies, which are fun for different teams. And so there's a lot of interesting roles. I think the game is not as solid as it could be, and it's a fragile game, I think is the best way to describe it, because it could not work possibly. But when it does work, it's, I think, one of the best out there. So that's my number 4.
I'll give you that it's a fragile game, but yes, if you enjoy that whole what do you want to then yes.
Some people do go to conventions and play this like 80 times in a row. So
All right, fine. My number 4 is the one I said I would probably get garbage for.
yeah. Wait, sharpening the knives.
Sharpen the knives. My number 4 is Mr. Jack. In which,
Wait, the original one?
yeah, or whatever, but yes, I'm picking.
Oh, this is all for you, sir.
Mr. Jack, one of the players, and yes, it's not both players, but one of the players of the 2-player game, is a roll on the table, and you don't know which roll they are, and you are figuring out which one they are. Now, yes, that's largely a process of elimination, really, but you are still trying to figure out which one roll they are, because if you can isolate that roll from the majority of the other characters on the table, you can more quickly catch the murderer. Whereas if you don't figure out where they are, they escape or run out the clock and win. Again, it's kind of stretching the definition of a hidden roll, but it is literally you are one of the rolls on the table and you are hidden. So
This is very similar to a game that I almost had on my list called Stratego,
Now
where one
I
of your
know.
hidden roles is the flag.
I know why you haven't been giving me grief. Because every single one of my games I've talked about so far has more hidden rolls than that one does.
Come on now, are you saying like Stratego is a hidden role game?
no, there's no rolls. Are there rolls?
I got generals and lieutenants, and which one is the flag? You don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
See what you have to do to justify your choice.
I don't
See,
like Stratego that much, but I guess it would count.
I'd replace it right now with Stratego if I were you.
what? No, I'm not. My suggestion was to show the absurdity of that. Okay, never mind.
No, I mean I think it's valid.
I'll let you borrow Citadels.
Oh no, I still think role selection I would not be okay with, because you are picking a role. That role is being called out, and they go from round to round. They really do change in this game. At the very beginning of
Yeah, I
the
got
game,
you.
you are one thing. It doesn't change.
Yeah,
It's
I understand.
it's a hidden role, and there's all these that you are trying to pick from 8 or whatever it is. Which one is it? The only thing that I was wavering on is not even that. It's the fact that the way you find out which role they are is not really deduction or anything. It's more like a process of elimination. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But a game like Quicksand, you kind of do that too. There's like 6 characters, and by process of elimination, I go, well, you keep throwing this person in the sand, so
Well,
that's
we
not
didn't.
you.
We didn't put that on our list either.
But I did, and you were okay with that one.
Yes.
Oh,
I've never played that game before. So.
oh, you are missing out some
You
fears.
would not like it.
Fantasy Flight Games, finest hour.
I know the box. I know the box. Same size
All
box
right.
that Dracone came in, and
All
yeah.
right, my number 4 is Mr. Jack.
Number 3.
My number 3 was just spoiled by Sam. Same reasons, and that's Good Cop, Bad Cop. Yeah, I like it too. And I like Good Cop, Bad Cop because there's different roles, and I love the fact that I could have 2 Good Cop cards in front of me and still have the mafia boss or whatever, the mobster boss, and then things can change, and you're saying, okay, you did that to him. I like it. I like any game that has hidden roles and logic on top of it, but also Good Cop, Bad Cop is super light. You don't sit there and go, oh, what is Z?
Right.
You know, if I really want to know, I can spend
Break
some
out the
actions and
legal
figure it
pad,
out.
Start making notes.
So,
Sure.
a lot of fun. I don't know. I guess I'm still, this is one of those biggest surprises I played because I pulled out and I was like, oh, man. And I know that there's a game that's similar to Good Cop, Bad Cop. Do you remember what that one's called? Dan King's always raving about it.
Can you wait like 30 seconds?
All right.
Oh, really?
What's your number 3?
Is it me next?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is Mayday, Mayday.
It's Mayday, Mayday. That's
Just sort of, it's a little bit like Good Cop, Bad Cop. This is my Good Cop, Bad Cop. Similar concept. Again, I'm going to compare this a little bit. Like I said, Salem was to the Resistance. This is to Good Cop, Bad Cop. And yes, this is the slow one in that analogy. It's just a little bit more deliberate, and you track all the information openly on the table. So if I said, ooh, he's the traitor, that one card is a traitor card, I marked that. You will remember that because it's right there. And so later on, someone else will check that card. They say, this is not a traitor card. They will mark it thus, and now we have conflict. One of us is lying. You know that for a fact. And I think the game really feeds that feedback loop in very interesting ways, where you trust one person, but they said this about this other person, so you can kind of follow that chain of logic, around the table. And sometimes it fails you, though, So very clever game. I think it's very smart. A little long, or longer than we're used to with this kind of stuff, but very smart. Mayday, Mayday, my number 3.
Man, this is like we're doing the
most-
Judgment Top 10.
Epic top 10.
You may not be able to hear it very well over the mic, but there is thunder going crazy right now.
All right, my number 3 is a game that has already been mentioned by Mr. Z Garcia, and it is because it is near the top of my list, as it usually is.
Say it.
Bang the Dice Game.
Now, I feel that since you put this on your list, that none of us put Bang on our lists then.
No, I
No, you like Bang Dice Game better than Bang. You liar.
I have Bang, the card game. I still have it
And I
on
use
my
it as a
shelf.
coaster.
I have it because it's in a really neat looking bullet.
Samurai sword.
And I also have samurai swords on my shelves too.
And you never bring them out because you own Bang the Dice Game.
And correct. It has definitely killed both of those games, mainly because of the dice. But I also
because
like
it's faster.
and it is much faster. And the dice are why it's much faster. I think that's why I said the dice. But anyway, I think there's a lot of a very, very strong hidden role feeling to this game. Each role you have to play differently. You are going after different people on the table, and you're going after them in different orders depending upon who you are in the game. But the problem is, especially if you're playing with people that have played the game a lot, they know this. So if you start acting the way the renegade would normally act, they're going to nail you on that. They're going to know you're acting like the renegade. So you can't act like the renegade when you're playing with other people who have played the game a lot. The renegade often acts like...
You put a lot of thought into this, man. I'm like,
roll the dice and I go, woo, the Indians! You're dead!
And there's another aspect to it. That's another reason why I like the game so much, is because you can be very thinky about it, but at the same time, you could roll, you just have bad luck and roll arrows, and you could put, it doesn't matter how much thought you put into the game, you're just going to get pumped full of arrows. So it is a very light game, but at the same time, it also can lend itself to a lot of thought. And that's what I enjoy about it. You can play it both ways, and it's fun both ways. My number 3, Bang the Dice Game.
Number 2.
My number 2 has been mentioned already by Sam, and he was sort of unsure about it, and you were saying you were unsure about it, but I think it fits on this list very well.
Citadels.
Spyfall.
No, I don't actually have a problem with it. For me, I don't know what I couldn't put on the list. I don't know what it was.
Okay. I think it fits just like
It's the whole game.
it is really the whole game. It's a very short game, and it's all about. Now, I think maybe the thing for you is that it's only 2 roles, or really 1 role. You're nothing, or the spy.
Well, unless you play with the little things in the corner of the card, then the game is really roll.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so, and that can really throw the whole thing for a loop if you choose to go that way. But this is the most, I think, party style hidden role game that I can think of. I mean, that is really just, there is nothing. You are talking to one another. You can play this game you can play on the phone if they have that, which I did actually once, where they have, you go to the website or whatever, some website.
Really?
You all log in,
Before.
and it suggests, like, it's got the cards built in, so we just sat around like a bonfire and played.
Well, that's cool.
It was very cool. It was a great experience, but you need literally or almost literally nothing. So it makes for a great party atmosphere where you are just trying to get in people's head, talk, ask just the right question, and it works great. It's one of my favorite party games. My number 2, Spyfall.
All right.
My number 2 has been mentioned by, again, Mr. Garcia already, and Mr. Basil.
Oh.
So this is our only, I think, triple crossover.
There will be no more triple crossovers. I don't think.
I don't think there will be. The Resistance. The Resistance. A game that I really do enjoy. I've played it with a number of different kinds of people. Of course, the most recent session is probably one of the more memorable ones that I wasn't actively part of.
No, whatever. You were complicit.
I was
right?
complicit, yes, but I was not the one.
You enabled.
That's true, I did. But I was definitely in the back seat there.
Because what you should have done is you should have said, look, come on now. We're taking this too far. Jay said, we reside. That's what I would have done.
No,
You're
it's not.
ruining friendships, Jason. Stop, lest you make mistakes which are nigh irreversible.
But The Resistance is a game that I can pull out with a number of different people. I play it with my youth group a lot. And that says a lot because of the composition of my youth group. I do not have gamers in my youth group. Maybe 1, maybe 2, but they mostly play video games.
Last names are
So-
Healy.
Well, they mostly play video games. So I really do enjoy this game. I think it has a lot of legs. It has a lot of room to grow with a lot of different people. That's Resistance.
All right. Mine is very similar to Sam's, actually. And I'm kind of squishing several games in the same category here. But I'm going to pick specifically One Night Revolution. Although I could also say One Night Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Werewolf, One Night Ultimate Vampire, whatever. Okay. They're all fairly the same thing. We're all a role. There's a night phase. We do some things, and then we figure out who's who.
You have said that this one, though, you find to be the more robust of that.
I think if I was recommending them to somebody, I would say, are you a strategy gamer? Yes. Then you should probably play One Night Revolution. You want to do casual, play One Night Werewolf. Werewolf's pretty casual. You can do a little bit of deduction. Revolution, if you think about it, it's kind of like the difference almost between Resistance and Werewolf itself.
Really?
In the sense that in One Night Revolution, I'll turn my thing over and it'll say tap the person next to you. If you're a werewolf, if you're not, don't do anything. I mean, if you're not a Resistance, if you're Resistance, tap their shoulder. So I tap your shoulder, and then when we wake up, you see what role I am because there's hidden roles and there's non-hidden roles, and and I claim that I am the tax accountant. I can't remember what everything's called.
Lame.
And we look at the thing and it says, well, that person's supposed to touch your shoulder. And he's like, well, he never touched me. And I'm like, well, no. I definitely tapped you on the shoulder.
I do lie.
So I just
make a made up scenario.
You
I still lie.
refrain from physical
That's true.
contact.
Z doesn't even tell the truth while we're lying about it. actually,
It sounds good. That's the one I have not played, and it sounds like I would enjoy it.
You
the
didn't hate
most.
One Night Werewolf either.
No, but this sounds better.
I think you would like this one better. Also, you don't have to be quiet at night
Right.
because on your
You
turn,
all do something,
you're
right?
supposed to do something, right?
Got it.
So my number 2, One Night Revolution, Werewolf, Vampire.
Demon.
And finally, number 1.
All right, here we go.
What is this?
You like yellow?
What am I supposed to do with this?
You can roll. You get 3 rolls.
Yeah, you get 3 rolls with that.
all right.
All right, here we go.
And I multiply. I'm the virus, baby.
15.
Wait, what was that? Well, I guess that's better than 3,
Got 11.
4.
Total. Less than me.
Total.
10.
And 6 is 10. I have almost caught up to Sam. This was somehow rigged, I think. All right.
All right. What's the... Oh, it's me. All right, I'll go first, and then Sam, and then Z. I can't figure out either one of yours.
It would be cool if we all had the same one.
No, there's no way. You don't like mine.
Oh. Okay.
He doesn't like yours, huh? Is it a big game?
It's one I've mentioned already.
Huh?
I mentioned it in passing. No, I mentioned it in passing.
Oh, you did?
Just recently. Like in my number 2.
Oh, jeez. Oh, where? No, okay. Werewolf.
Yeah, Werewolf itself.
Oh, okay.
Werewolf itself. Yeah, whatever Sam may say.
This is-
for me, is the ultimate
For all
hit and
the
roll game.
garbage that I take, he pulls this puppy up any time he possibly can.
Okay, first of all, I don't see all this garbage you get for saying the same games
First of all,
over
I thought
again.
the use of the word puppy there is dismissive. Werewolf is a well-bred beast.
So,
Cocker
nothing.
Spaniel werewolf.
but anyway, this is the very definition of hidden rolls. Especially when you play Ultimate Werewolf, there's like, I mean, you get the hunter and you get the witch, and I don't know. I love this game. It is. This is one of the few games I like to watch as much as I like to play it.
You were talking about Bang the Dice game having, you shoot random people. Werewolf is much more random than that.
I will agree that the first night of Werewolf can be random, but I'm telling you, after that, it's not. After that, you're like, okay, wait a minute. This person died. Someone voted for that.
wait, what?
You watch how
Can one night make the difference?
because you watch how everybody votes for that first lynching. You watch how everyone votes for that first lynching. You watch who accuses who. You watch the expressions on people's face when someone dies. The next night, you see who died after the talking from the day before. Oh, definitely. Definitely that all comes into play.
I guess maybe because you've played it much
Don't
like
get me
what
wrong,
you
I
said
enjoy
to
the
me.
game a lot, but I think it's largely
I don't enjoy it.
it's a largely random game, at least for a while.
I would argue it's only random the first night, which is why the first night when I'm the moderator dies. No, just thematically.
Oh, I'm like, wait, so what happens for the rest of the night?
You guys are. I'm gonna go get dinner.
I killed myself. I am getting
I'm
a yogurt.
out.
I will be back.
All right. Sam. Let me try to guess.
My number 1.
He said it's not Dead of Winter.
It is
Oh,
not.
he already lied once, though, because he also said that
True.
Bang the Dice game wasn't on his list.
What is
Scout's
his
Honor. It is not.
favorite hidden roll?
You will
game?
not be able to. Just,
You already set the resistance.
I don't. I have not put this on any of these lists before.
What?
This is a new one.
Fresh blood.
This is a new one. Yes.
Wow.
This rocketed to the top of this list.
Okay.
Oh, is it a new
have
game?
you played it in the last year?
Yes.
Yeah, only played it
Played
in the
it
last
last
year,
month.
probably, right?
In the last month.
Is it a fairly new
Have
game?
we played it?
It's a fairly new game.
Have we played it?
Yes. The last time I played this game, it was with you guys.
What did we play when Rado was here? What kind of grin is that? Do you guys have the same number 1?
It's possible.
I think it might.
All right, go ahead. What is it?
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong.
Yes, baby!
All right, this was my number 11.
Yeah.
Get out! Two ones. He tries to sneak in there by just making, oh, it's my one twice. 2 ones. Get out of here with 11.
The first time I played the game, I wasn't too sure about it. Second and third times have solidified it. This is probably my favorite hidden roll game that's out there. because of, again, much like my probably over-interpretive version of Bang the Dice game, each role has to play differently than the others. They have to. If they don't, they become too obvious. Or they don't become obvious enough and help the people that they're supposed to be helping. And that's what I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, you have to be like super helpful in a
Part
bad
of
way.
why I like it, why I like it so much is besides the gameplay, which I find very clever and interesting.
That too, yeah.
The roles, it's not you're either good or bad. You know what I mean? It's not like you're nothing or the evil guy.
Right.
It's you are the bad guy or the bad guy's helper, and it's like a different dynamic. Or you are that one that knows, but you better not be obvious. And it's
Right.
and I find it more clever than what Avalon did, the Resistant did, by adding the whole Avalon roll or whatever to Avalon. In this one, that dynamic between the players is really engaging and very interesting, and subtlety is demanded by the game.
Right.
And I find that to be utmost in importance, really.
It's also, like, for example, you know how when there are two sides to games, like with Spectre Ops, sometimes people like being the hunter more than the hunted. This is one of the games where I enjoy both sides of the game, or rather all the roles of the game.
Because there's kind of three, because
Equally.
you're also the CSI guy too.
Yeah, right.
You could just be nothing also, but the game play at that point is very clever because you're
Yeah.
playing a deduction game at that point.
Correct.
Where it doesn't even matter who's who. I just want to figure out this puzzle, you know what I mean? And it's like, so it's warm, but there's, the person is calm, and I'm just putting together a deductive puzzle at that point. I don't care. I know it's not my stuff, you know what I mean? But that's it. And so even getting no roll, quote unquote no roll, is very fun to play.
Correct.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite as well. And from the first time I played it, though, I really enjoyed it. And the more I play, the more it proves to me that it's not a one-trick pony.
Correct.
It's not a gimmick. It's a gimmick that goes the distance,
Right.
if you would. So,
Yep.
yeah, my number one, Deception Murder in Hong Kong as well.
Cool.
Cool. I'm glad. All right, great. Well, those are our top 10 hidden role games. What are your favorites? Where did we veer incorrectly? What did we do wrong? What did we do right? Tell us in the comments. We'll see you guys next time with another top 10. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
Z Garcia, thank you, folks.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side.
Also, I was never security at all. I was secretly a criminal.
Get it?